Well, hey everybody, here we are doing a little bit of painting this afternoon. Really good to have you. Welcome, welcome. We are working on a pretty fun piece here, and this has above my picture here, just kind of right up there, is a digital painting, a digital comp for this piece, which started out on the computer. And I painted that live, and then I've moved it onto a board here. And this is just masonite board. Did some acrylics, and then now I am painting in oils, which is actually a really fun kind of process, and that's kind of what I'm exploring here today, is the difference in process. So hey Goose, how you doing, bud? Just checking something here. Okay. Trying to get everything to kind of line up the way that it should look here, so that you can see the colors and the vibrance, the colors and all that kind of stuff. I just wanted to be working. Yeah, what do you got going on this afternoon? So what we've started here is all of this, like I said, was done, in acrylics. I've sealed it with a matte medium, and now we're going back and starting to hit areas with an opaque paint. I've already glazed in some colors, and now it's time to start hitting it with an opaque paint. So and one of the things that's kind of been a focus for me here is to let the different mediums do what they do best. And kind of circumvent the shortcomings of each of them. And it's a really interesting proposition. Joel says I just finished up a couple graphics, an alternate version of that bumper video. Some rinse. Nice. Did we need to work any more on that today? So really what I want to achieve here is kind of a combination between pretty graphic work in nature, some of these harder lines around the edges, but then have a very painterly kind of background to it. Got it pretty dialed in. Oh, that's good to hear. So one of the things I'm struggling with a little bit is how to, lay in the shadows while still having those kind of transparent shadows. And not have them too thick, or at the worst end of things, to be chalky of any sort. So So keeping the whites out of those shadows is going to be really important. I'm probably going to need to, next time, this whole area, probably glaze it, glaze it back a bit. Did want to work, a little bit more on these trees as well. Sometimes I end up mixing my brushes. I'm trying to have a dark brush. As well as a light brush, but not always so easy to do. One thing I'm struggling with a little bit too is I don't want this painting is a little bit lower than it should be. Nice if it was up here. I need to figure out a way. That's kind of my next project is going to be figure out a way to raise my paintings up higher on my desk here. This was a really extremely fun piece to work on. And has been a fun exercise in just how I'm going to be able to work a little bit faster, because that's kind of been a little bit of the ongoing issue here, is figuring out how I'm just going to be able to paint faster, because that's something that's I think been holding me back a little bit in this adventure. Is just how long it's taking each piece to complete. And I don't want that. I want there to be I want to be able to complete these paintings faster than they're being painted now. The other thing about this particular easel is kind of dealing with the ongoing issue of the recess of the painting while I'm working on it. And so like the tops and bottoms are kind of hard to grab. Now, I mean, this is most likely going to be framed in some way. So that's not a big of a deal. But still, it can make it a little bit difficult. Initially. Yeah, well, I'm glad you got that dialed in, and I think it's looking really good, that the video. Since this is an Elven archer, I thought it would only be fitting today to have some sort of epic music. So it's maybe a little bit counterintuitive, but I am trying to dirty up my colors a little bit more, especially along the exterior of this piece. And that is simply because is to control my saturation just a little bit more than I have been. Saturation has been a battle for me to keep in check. And partially it's just because I mean, I have an affinity to very, very saturated colors. But the issue with that is then everything just gets really saturated. If everything is saturated, then nothing is saturated, right? Kind of the it's very similar to photography as well. You know, if you have a very, very saturated piece, and everything's saturated, then it doesn't actually look that colorful, and sometimes it can look actually a little bit the opposite. Because nothing is then reading quite very hot. So, allowing my colors to kind of more mix together is kind of what I'm going for here. Hey Noah, welcome. Good to have you. Thanks for coming back, and glad to see that you're on the Discord channel now too. Stream's going pretty good. We're working on an Elven Archer. And she's doing great. How are things on your end? Noah, what's happening today? I decided I really want to kind of repaint this area. Initially I was really enjoying it, but now not so much. Yeah, got any projects or anything that's happening? I'm starting to run a little bit out of have to reload my... I was painting a little bit this morning before the stream started, but here's some ideas. Tell me about the ideas that you're wanting to do. Oh, and hey Sarah, how are you? What's going on? Have you guys noticed a difference in quality between those of you who switched between Twitch and Facebook? I think maybe, I mean, that's a question maybe for Joel, but so I've been pretty stoked over the weekend here about this process, and about how I think it's really, really going to help make things considerably faster for the whole process. Really good. Yeah, you know, Sarah, that's interesting you mentioned that because this is really trying to, um, in all ways, just move a lot faster. And I think, you know, today being the first moments that I've had on it with oils and allowing the acrylics to really kind of push through has been hugely beneficial. You think about doing Noah says you think about doing a Lord of the Rings Ranger-esque drawing, but instead of using markers to color, using watercolor paints. Oh, nice. This piece I used a lot of these, which is Liquid-X ink, which is basically, you know, the acrylic paint suspended in a lot more water. It's still just as loaded with pigments, but it's in water, and so you can actually do washes. So a lot of this is washed. When I initially did the color, I washed it in color. I think I did that on the stream. Yeah. Sarah says she missed the explanation of the process. No problem. Yeah, I can explain it again. No worries. So we to back up all the way just for everybody. So the sketch of the archer that is above me up here on the screen is a digital sketch. And I then took that sketch and I moved it over to a board. And from that board, I simply just transferred it using a light table that I have downstairs. Not a light table, sorry. An opaque projector. And from that, I started doing thin washes in acrylic. I mean, this is colored pencil on this. And started layering and layering and layering just in acrylic, which has been a really interesting process for me because I can paint it very, very thinly like I do watercolor with as inks I just showed you. Or I can go a little bit more opaquely with kind of these regular soft-bodied acrylics. I can thin these down as well, but I don't want to thin those down too much because it can kind of mess up the molecular connection that the acrylic has to itself, kind of thing. And then I would I even tried like some markers and colored pencils and everything, and those didn't really work very well. And then I would seal it and start over and start layering again. Because acrylic can get a little bit glossy because it's a plastic, really. And so then if I lay over another matte gesso, a clear gesso over the piece, I can just kind of start doing washes again. So whenever it kind of starts to seize up a little bit like that, that's what I can do. Decided that I wanted to have kind of these blue bracers a little bit. So this morning, before the stream, I hit a glazed with walnut oil. We brought some of these colors to a little bit more vibrancy, and then now I've been kind of painting opaquely over that glaze, if that makes sense. So there wasn't any oils until right now. So we are in the oil stage. So the idea, and I'll be kind of unpacking this as we go further, is to allow each medium to do what it does best. So my last oil painting stream, for those of you who missed it, I actually realized that I needed that the process of laying initial painting without thinning down my paints, and just scrubbing on the canvas is just way too slow. It's taking me too long, and so we've abandoned, at least temporarily, the watchmaker's piece because of that. And so I sought out to find a better solution over the weekend. It just kind of all came to a head. And so this piece will be completed fraction of the time that it took me to do that one, or that it's been taking me before. Because I still want to end with oils, because I really love what they do, but I think deciding, hey, I'm not going to thin with oils has been what's really been, or thin with any terps has been what has made everything very difficult. And just realizing that that is not the way forward, and being okay with that, and embracing some of these other mediums is really, really nice. Because, like, for example, I like to go in and glaze something in acrylics. What's cool is that glazing in acrylics is great, because then you can, in a few moments, it's ready. I had a hair dryer. I just dried. I just dried it, and then started painting opaquely. And because I like to have those layers, that's what was taking so long, is because I would have to wait. And Joel and I had some discussions, and I believe Sarah had as well, and with my wife Christina too, just about how slowly the painting process has been going. Yeah, and I think it can be argued, Sarah, that it's actually capturing more of my style, actually. I think it actually feels more like me because of these lines. You're making lunch. What did I miss? Well, I solved a lot of world problems while you were gone. So, no, I was just kind of just talking in depth about the process that I've been following for this piece and how I believe it's going to change so much about my process, the speed at which I can move, and I think I'll just be cranking out more paintings, because if I can do this just in a couple days, you know, here and there working on it, man, we're gonna be moving. And I've been hinting at that that gallery show as well. I'm still waiting to tell you all about that. And I need to move. I need to get things done. Trying to decide how tan I want to keep her her pants. Not happy with this hand. Really at all. So I need to work on it quite a bit. One of the issues about the way that I was doing things came down to my desire to have line work. And I really like line work. And oil painting of itself is not very conducive to keeping your lines. Just the kind of the way that, at least traditionally, we paint. It's not designed to do that. Hands are the bane of Noah's existence. I understand that. I understand that sentiment for sure. Yeah, I think this just goes to show how slowly I actually was going. I mean, yeah, it does feel like I'm going really fast. I'm not necessarily going very fast. I think before I was just going so slowly. So I appreciate y'all hanging in there with me. But I'm excited to lay down some more color here so that I can get, a glaze going. Or next time as well, so. Always liked this stage of the painting, the detail stage. It's always just something really exciting about it. Okay, we're going to move towards working a little bit more on this hair. Her golden locks. It's maybe a little bit too muddy in there. One of the things that is a little bit difficult is having to now learn over not learn over again another, you know, another medium. And I just don't have much experience in acrylics. What I do really like, specifically about the oils, is that buttery consistency. And I know that we'll talk about that in acrylics as well, but there is something special about it in oils. So this the shadows got a little muddy for me in this area, but I think I need to actually let that dry before we can move on. Is that fun? Thank you.
It's really brightening up.
Yeah.
After you glazed it this morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Proud of those colors again.
It really did. Yeah, the oils just are incredible. This area is still a little bit matte. I don't know if I maybe didn't glaze in that color here. Glaze in there.
That you added like kind of a scenery into the yellow.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of imagined the trees back there, and yeah. I really wanted like
really exciting.
A pretty painterly background.
Nobody gets to buy that piece. That's mine.
Is this your piece? Is Christina claiming this one?
It looks like Mary.
It kind of.
She was an Elven.
It kind of does look like Mary, doesn't it?
She's dressed up like Elvens in the past.
Yeah, I think actually Cosette and I were looking through pictures yesterday, and we saw one of her dressed up as an elf. We also, because we saw Renaissance Festival once, so. Sarah says hello, Christina.
It's a great day to be alive.
Oh, that's good. That's a good sentiment.
Yeah, I've often kicked in, so my back's better.
Christina's no longer in pain, and that means a lot. Cool, we're coming up on, so my goal is to paint for an hour on these streams. It's kind of been my goal. Noah says it's a good day to be alive.
Who said Noah?
Noah, yep. Noah's a new addition to the family. He does, yep. Noah's a good guy. No, have you put any of your work in the share your artwork channel on Discord yet? I know that can be kind of daunting.
Share it. I love seeing other people's art.
Not yet, but I think I will later, he says. That would be awesome. Okay, well, I think we're coming to kind of towards the end of what I wanted to get done here today.
By the way, the music is so perfect.
Yeah, awesome. It's nice to have some good music that fits the mood, right? Noah is asking if this will be a print. You know what? That's a good question. We haven't. Christina says yes. That's the answer. Sometimes when I make individual prints of like individual characters, they don't sell very well. But we're starting over, so.
Ask him if he wants to buy it, because he can be our first customer for it.
If you want to. If you want to buy it, what we're going to be doing is people who buy stuff early while it's still wet get a discount. So if you want to do that, just DM me and we'll go from there. I'll get you hooked up, but that's really nice of you. I'd love for this to hang in your house. Thank you, Sarah. Thanks for always being so supportive. Sometimes I wish I could just show like before and after for the day. Clever. Welcome. Yeah, nice to have you here. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, this is a digital piece moved into the physical world onto acrylics and oils. And I ended up kind of doing a background. Wasn't planning on it, I initially started this as a test of a new process that is, I would say, been pretty successful as far as being faster. That was the intent of this, is just to be painting faster. And so it just I kind of kept going. I couldn't stop, and so I came up with this idea of her being in the forest here. So it's gone really, really well. So today's session has been in oils, which has been really fun. Awesome. That's awesome. No. Hey, send me a message. I'm gonna hook you up with something, okay? And Eleni is here. Christina, Eleni is here.
Oh man.
Oh my
That's so
goodness. I don't know if you can hear Christina, Eleni, but she's saying hi.
Hi, Lenny. We miss you guys. Oh, this would go well in her house too. Especially your mom's like 4-story house. That would be really cool.
Oh, her mom. Yes, no kidding.
She'd start a Nicholas Jackson collection.
Eleni, it's good to see you. You still have a cartoon drawing you did that I did for you when you were 7. Are you serious? Please take a picture if you can find it. I'd love to see what that is, because I bet it's hilarious. That's so fun. You know, I'm so glad that when we were young we got opportunities to be together, because and just kind of know each other. I think that's really, really fun. So for all you who are wondering, I'm talking to my cousin Eleni, who lives in England, and she's fantastic. Big heart, really sweet, and she's been following my work too. And I don't remember giving you that piece. I'd love to see what it is. Yeah, we're just kind of wrapping up here for the day. We've brought this one pretty much as far as it's gonna go in a single session, because I need to kind of wait now for the paint to dry, and so we're gonna be working on some other pieces while it does that. Yeah, say hi to Craig for us, Eleni. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's really cool. Really, really cool. And so we're wrapping up here for the day. So thanks everybody who was able to join and be part of it. Make sure to, if you want to stay tuned as this one kind of develops, find me Tall Fox Studios on Instagram. We're building a Discord server of those who love art and those who make it. And so the link is in the description below. Please consider joining that too, because of that, it'd be really great to have some more people in there. People are artists are starting to share their work, and it's just kind of a nice place to be, and you can kind of keep updated as to what's happening as well. I also have a Patreon link in the description, which is a way to support what I'm doing here, and also get some cool rewards as well. So thank you so much for being a part of the stream, this midday stream here today. And I'll be streaming again next on Sunday at 8 p.m. Central Time. And then again on Monday at 10 a.m. Central Time. So, really good to have you. Thanks so much for being here, everybody, and supporting the channel, and just the encouragement. It's great to see you. Remember that you are you're important, and that you're valuable. And we'll see you on the next stream. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.